What's up, Walking Dead friends and family? It's Brian Castrillo back with another review, and this time it is Fear the Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 2, 6 Hours. And the title is really cool. The title is basically calling out to what Grace, played by Karen David, the time that she figured out that her and Morgan, played by Lenny James, could be out, with all the radiation, the time limit they had with their suits, and how long each of them would go out and no longer. And can I just say, this was another amazing episode with Karen David and Lenny James. Absolutely beautiful acting. And I love the story. I loved everything they go through. But we start the episode, and they're back at the sub, of course, and food is low. They're running out of options, and baby Mo is crying. She's screaming because she's hungry, and you can see Karen. I'm sorry, not Karen, but Grace. She's going through. She's having a hard time with this. She just wants the baby to stop screaming, and she doesn't know what to do. She's tired. She's probably hungry as well, and I think this is probably similar to what a lot of mothers or parents in general, but I'm gonna but mothers go through when they, with first newborns. And I can tell you, as a parent, as a father, that I mean, I can't, to say from a mother's point of view, but I get how stressful that can be when the baby won't stop crying. You don't know what to do. You're trying to, everything you can do. And I think a lot of that might lead to, postpartum. But then also, she's not only that, but she's going through the loss of her daughter, Athena. And we're in this post-apocalyptic world where the world has gone to, basically to shit. Excuse my language, and she's dealing with all these emotions and stress, and you, as you're going to find out through this episode, she just doesn't want to do it anymore. She believes that she's, come to an end, and you can see, early on, the tension with her and Morgan, and she ends up going out because, to go find food. And we see that walker that we saw in the previews early on, attached to the grocery cart, and it's just Fear the Walking Dead has done such an amazing job with the cinematography this season. I'm absolutely loving just the look of the sky, the smoke coming through of this post-apocalyptic world after the war has hit. It just visually stunning when you're watching these episodes. And she walks by this walker, although I guess she just didn't care at the moment, but and I get that this is, like I said, she's having trouble deciding if she even wants to be in this world anymore. But she walks by this walker. Now, as I was watching this, I'm like, why didn't you kill that? Because I mean, that's an easy kill, and things can happen. But she goes on. She finds this grocery store, and she's looking through, the baby milk, because that's what she wants, to help feed Mo. And she's looking, and there's rats everywhere. They chew through the baby. And I think it looked like she found one, and then all of a sudden, there's people outside, and they rush in. She grabs the shelf and shoves it down. Excellent thinking, really quick. And she's hiding under there, kind of pretending she's dead. And while these people are coming through, and they're looking apparently for the same thing, because they go right to the baby stuff. And it's funny, like the rats crawling up to her leg, and I'm kind of curious. I wonder if that was a real rat that was going towards her foot, and if so, how was that for Karen, working with these animals? But I can imagine, like, if you're laying there and all of a sudden a rat gets on you, you're gonna want to move and be like, get the hell out of here, like she did, and she kicked it. Grace kicks it, and it goes up to the couple that's in there, and then he shoots them, but that was just enough distraction so they didn't find Grace. And so Grace goes back to the one can of milk that she found, and she does her readings, and it's too bad, and she can't take it, and she gets mad, and she throws it, and she's trying to get the attention of these people who had a gun. And she's like, "Can't you hear me?" Just screaming because she wants to be found. She wants to end it. She hate at this moment. She's hating life and everything that's going on. She's not happy. She's stressed. And she goes back. Eventually, she goes back to where Morgan is, and she's saying she didn't find it. But this is where kind of that 6 hours plays in, is because she said when they were saying she didn't find it, she's like, "It's okay, I'll just go out again." And Morgan's like, "No, it's my turn. You went out last time. You said 6 hours here and 6 hours, for you, no more, no less. That's what you came up with." And of course, Morgan was right, but Grace is just getting frustrated and dealing with all this stuff. And so Morgan comes, he goes looking for food, and he comes back, and she's like, "Did you find anything?" And he's like, "No, I didn't find any food, but I gotta admit, I wasn't even really looking." And he's sitting down, and of course you got the music playing from the little radio that Grace had, and that's what helped her get Mo to sleep. But he said, "I got this. I fixed up a car. I got fuel from the sub, some diesel to power this, and I made this so Mo will be safe, and we're gonna go at it. We're gonna go out of the blast zone. That's at least Morgan's plan." But they come across this couple, and who basically right before they come across that couple, they're Morgan's trying to play a tape with music on it, but that was the tape that she had created before when she wasn't happy back in last season, and it had that on there, and they're playing it, but then all of a sudden it starts to hear her talking, and she's like, get it off, because she didn't want it on there. But then that created an accident, and they're fixing the car. This other couple comes up, and they're claiming that's their baby Emma. And I'm like, what the hell? This isn't your baby. But so they go through all this. They're forcing him to fix the tire on there. This guy's got a rifle pointed at his head at Morgan to just hurry up and do this. We want to bring, to them it's Emma, to this safe place that they know of. And they're doing it, and then all of a sudden these walkers come in. These were some disgusting walkers, and I gotta applaud the special effects of the Walking Dead universe, whether it's Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond, The Walking Dead itself. The special effects that these guys are bringing are absolutely brilliant, and I love seeing the SFX that of these new walkers. But these walkers are disgusting. They got their slimy faces are like melting off. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. But we're going through this scene where they're fixing the cars. They're coming into this one of the buildings that they had where they're fixing it, and the baby's crying, and they don't know what to do. And the one guy, he's telling, you gotta stop her. The baby's attracting more. And kind of fast forwarding through all this chaos that's going on, they eventually get the car fixed. They're getting ready to leave, but Morgan found an opportune time where he was able to, where one was distracted, he got the gun back, and the mother, or the female, she jumped in the car and took off running, and got out, but she didn't get far, and they eventually caught up, and then they're working together. Morgan being Morgan, he said, we can all make this out of here together, but I need to know about the safe place. And they mentioned Padre, which, again, going back to episode 1, we don't know what this is, but we know Alicia's going there. Where is this Padre? Now, I kind of looked it up, and it's around, at least by the map that they showed, I saw Victoria, Texas. I saw Arson Sauce, Gulf, Pass or something, somewhere in the lower parts of Texas near the Gulf, and they had this circled and it said Padre in there. I've been trying to figure this out, and I do not know what it means. There's more clues. This map, plus from what was said in episode 1, but so that's where they want to go, and somehow they know about this from someone on the radio. Now, is this person Alicia, or is it not Alicia? Alicia seemed to have gone to Padre, or at least was trying to get to Padre. Was she talking to someone on the radio? Who is this person on the radio? We don't know yet. So that the father and Grace are staying in the building with Mo, while Morgan and the mother are trying to get the car fixed and get ready so that everybody can get out of there and go to the to wherever this Padre place is, because they said that they tried to escape the blast zone, but that's how when they got out further it was really bad, and that's what melted their face, because these especially the mom looked horrible, and they're fixing the car, and then they're all outside fixing the car, and then this car pulls up and bright lights, and Morgan says, Grace, and the guy go into into that building, and the woman and Morgan are out there, and then Morgan ends up shooting this guy, whatever this person is, we don't know, and shoots him down, but it looks like it took a few shots, because he must have had some sort of body armor or something on him, because whoever that was in that car did not go down easy. And so they kill him, and then Morgan he finally gets to working, and there's this fantastic scene, again props to the special effects, where Morgan crashes into, or was it, yeah, Morgan crashed into all the walkers, and they just exploded with this goo everywhere. Kind of reminded me of back in the day on Nintendo with what was that show where they slimed you with the green slime? But I'm telling you, these walkers were amazing. So they finally managed to get away. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Roll back, and we're in the building, and Morgan jumps up on top of a car, and they had this contraption set up with the way back in the day where you could talk to a can on a string, and it looked like it was all throughout the town, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming they did that after this, after the bombs went off, but they find out that the father is going to want to kill the baby, or Mo, and the reason for that is because Morgan finds out that their baby Emma was actually in this suitcase, and we see it moving around. And thank you, Walking Dead, for not going the route of another zombie show, which had the zombie baby running around, which was ridiculous. But I digress. I thought the fact that they didn't show the baby and we just show, the movement and the sounds coming out of the suitcase, and we the mother explains it. So Morgan's calls Grace and tells her, and meanwhile the father is getting ready to kill the Mo, because he feels that it'll be better for you, and he's saying that this you don't have to go through this, and clearly his mind is gone. But in true Walking Dead universe fashion, last second Grace comes up and kills the man from trying to kill Mo, and I honestly believe it was that moment that Grace started to realize that maybe she does want to be here, and so they finish getting the car, and they're heading back to the sub, and the mother, I guess she went off doing her thing. But they're going back, and Grace is in a way just kind of telling Morgan that realizing that she wants to live, and Morgan is talking about how mistakes he made, and they're kind of just being there for each other, and and they realize how much they mean to each other and how important they are for Mo, for each other, and they're just kind of confessing their love, and it absolutely beautiful but sad moment, when they're, sad because they're realizing how difficult it is, but beautiful because they came to that moment where they realized that their worth and their value. I just thought this was an absolutely beautiful episode done by Lenny James and Karen David. Absolutely loved it. Kind of reminded me back to In Dreams episode, or season 6 episode 12, where Athena, we learn about how Athena passed, and one of the things that Morgan is saying to her is that Mo is not a replacement for Athena, which is part of the issues that Grace was going through, because she felt that this was just replacing who she lost, and this isn't her daughter. But when she saved Mo back there, and I think this conversation with Morgan, she realized that that she wants to be here. She wants to be here for Mo. She understands now that it wasn't a replacement. It was just a beautiful, touching moment at the end. So they get back to the sub, and we see Howard there, and of course Howard is Victor's henchman that he met back at the end of season 6, and of course he was in episode 1 of season 7, and he has his people because Victor sent him out there, because obviously Victor knows, and Howard is kind of almost a reflection of Victor, maybe not as crazy as Victor has gotten, but definitely a reflection of his attitude. And he goes up to Morgan, and he's basically telling him that you're not invited, but we will take your Lady Grace and your baby and give them a home, but you weren't selected to come here. Clearly, that's Victor trying to snub Morgan, trying to show him that he's better than him, and that you couldn't do this, I could. Just Victor being Victor. But Grace said, no, I want that that sitting at the table eating a dinner. Well, she didn't say this, but this goes back to an earlier conversation, but she wants that, where they get to discipline their child for reading comics instead of watching whatever, or having family time. But she wants that family, and she doesn't want to leave Morgan, and realize that we can do this together. And he's like, all right, whatever, you had your opportunity. And then we learn that they they scavenged everything I saw them take a bag with some stuff, but they basically took everything, a lot of their supplies, because Victor probably didn't want them to have anything. But then at the end, Grace finds there's something under the mat, and they lift up this door, and lo and behold, there's food. We got baby milk. We got all kinds of food for everybody, and we find out they can last for months. But now to the big reveal. We see, like, again, beautiful cinematography in the woods. I just love how it looks on the screen. But we see the box that says Morgan Jones, and of course, if you go back, that's where the bounty hunter, who was played by Demetrius Gross, Josiah, his head was put in there and given to Virginia. And someone pulls the head out, and then we see, and it's literally Demetrius Gross, who was a fantastic actor. I loved his character, Josiah. But we learn that that's his twin brother, and to me this spells trouble, because we're gonna have the Victor issue. We're gonna have this guy who has now a personal vendetta with Morgan. What is going to happen next? This is building up to be a crazy season. I'm absolutely loving it. And of course, I still believe that we're going to find out that Madison is back. I've been saying it for a long time. I do believe she's coming back. But yeah, what did you guys think of this episode? Where do you think the new bounty hunter, Josiah's twin brother, and if I'm getting the names wrong, I apologize, but I believe that's his name. But what's going to happen with that? Where is Padre? What is the Padre? Is Alicia already on over there? Who was on the radio? Who did they call? What is Victor's plans? Are you are you as excited for the season as I am? Let me know in the comics if you in the comments section if you liked it. Hit that like button. I'd love for you to subscribe, and yeah, I love you guys, and thank you for watching. And as always, like with any of my reviews, I love to give a shout out, and this time is no different. I'm giving one to my friend Tim Anderson, who has his own band. He's called let me say this right, Liminalist. And if I pronounce it wrong, I apologize. But he produces great music. He's a rock musician, and he has this new video that I really want you guys to check out. I'm gonna put that in the comment section, as well as his social media pages, so you can check him out. It's called In the Shadows. It's kind of a Halloween theme. You're gonna see monsters, probably some zombies in there, but I want you guys to check it out. He's a great musician, great friend, and I think you're gonna really like it. And as always, thank you for watching me. I'm humbled that you chose the time to watch it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Love you guys. See you on the next one.